Hello, baby ogres. Welcome to my room. Well, at least now my room just for the summer because I spend most of my time at Hampton. And that truly is my home by the sea. You'll hear that term a lot during your tenure at Hampton, but it will truly over the next, I would say maybe 2 months. It took me before I start kind of feeling like Hampton was my home. You know, you eat there, sleep there, do homework there. Your friends truly do become your family. But with all that out the way, I would just like to say hello. My name is Alexis Harmon. I'm the social media coordinator for MOSAIC. MOSAIC is Hampton University's first LGBTQ and ally organization on campus. And from us to you, we just wanted to give some tips. Hampton is truly a family. It's a dysfunctional family, but it is still a family, and we just wanted to give you some tips from some of our members. First, let's start off with Hampton Intros. A bit of advice is learning yours. You don't have to study it while you're at home right now, but definitely sort of, just think of it. Kind of get it off the top of your head. My name is Alexis Harmon. I'm a rising junior, marketing major, strategic communications minor from Virginia Beach, Virginia. And I'm QTX. So, the last bit there doesn't always have to go. It's just a little bit of flair. My class is Quintessence 10. Once you get to Hampton, you'll realize very quickly that the school has a lot of traditions, one of which is the senior class and the freshman class always carry the same name. Now, never mind about always, because some names are no longer on campus. You'll learn about that in University 101. My cousin who went to Hampton is Genesis. Genesis no longer exists. Typically, the senior class will, I think, vote to not continue the name, but that hasn't happened in some years. So, you will be continuing on the Ogre legacy, as I and my class are continuing the Quintessence legacy. It's kind of like a little sibling rivalry that goes on between the classes, like who's the best. There's slogans, there's songs, there's all of it. It comes with the territory of being a Hamptonian. The next bit of advice is from our president, who actually is O50. She is a rising senior. She is a marketing major. Her name is Ashley Arvin. If you see her on campus, you'll probably hear Ash first. Just say hi. Her first bit of advice is that it's okay to change your major. I can't stress this one enough because a lot of people come into college with this idea of, this is what I want to be when I grow up. But that's before classes happen. If you are not good at math, I understand that you wanted to be a 5-year MBA major. You've told all your aunties and cousins that. But if you're not good at math, you're failing on your math classes, maybe it's time to rethink that major. It's better to get a degree than fail and not get anything and just be able to say, oh, I went to college to be this. If you're struggling with your sciences and your math and you're a nursing major, freshman year is definitely the time to rethink, is this the best path for you? Once you get into sophomore, definitely junior year, that whole switching majors is extremely hard because you've taken so many prereqs, and honestly, you've taken some of your core classes that go specifically to your degree. Another piece of advice she gave is CAF is a fashion show, so stretch your way to the soda machine. This is to your preference. You don't have to wear heels every day to the CAF. I know for me, if it's homecoming or if it's after 12 to 2, you'll probably see me looking, more dressed up because I've come from some events. I'm not just coming from my dorm straight to the CAF and getting dressed up. Now, if you want to do that, that's your prerogative, but I definitely say that's based on the person. Another bit of advice that she gave is 8 a.m.s in high school are different than 8 a.m.s in college. I'm trying to find the best way to put this because everybody hears it. I heard it coming in and I was like, whatever, that's just for them. No, I struggled to make it to my 9 a.m.s. I had friends who had 8 a.m.s who almost failed them because they couldn't make it. 8 a.m. in high school is so different. It's so different. Don't schedule a lot of 8 a.m.s. It seems like a good idea, but when you're skipping them and you're almost failing them, that idea deteriorates. One of our members, Ashley, said, make an attempt to say hi to your professors. Another rule that Ashley said, I'm laughing because this goes overlooked. Establish ground rules with your roommate. You're both new, that's understandable, but you will learn very quickly once you come to college. Everybody is raised differently, period. So what you think is common courtesy or common sense is not that for your roommate, unless you knew them prior to coming to college. And even then, I've seen people who were friends, who were classmates, completely turn on each other, because living with somebody is a very different experience and it's a very personal thing. There's certain things that you're used to doing when you get to your room that maybe they're not comfortable with, or vice versa. Establish those ground rules. I'm going to add to that, you don't have to be best friends with your roommate. A lot of people came into college with that idea that their roommate was going to be their best friend, their bro, their sis. That doesn't always happen. When it does, it's great. But don't always expect that. Me and my freshman year roommate were cool. She was a great girl. She really helped me out. I really helped her out. But we had different friend groups. But we also had a common understanding of our room. Like, I'm a person who really enjoys my sleep. During my nap time, she made sure that her friends weren't loud in the room. And vice versa. I'm a night owl. Sometimes she would go to bed earlier than me. I'd make sure that I turn my light off and use my desk light with my laptop. Simple things like that, establish those in the beginning. One of our members, Will, said, don't be acting homesick. Okay, I'm going to translate that from what Will said. It's okay to be homesick, but don't try to go home all the time, because you'll never get used to Hampton. Especially for those freshmen who might be able to finesse a car on campus, don't always be driving home. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. There are certain memories, I know a lot of them happen with Curfew, where you are going to meet the friends that you'll have for life. I've met some girls who will literally be at my baby shower. You know, at this rate, they'll probably, one of them's going to be the godmom. And I met them because I was on campus and we weren't in classes, so we had to talk to people. We had to go to the caf with people. I couldn't have done that if I came home all the time. Also, my parents helped me with that because my mother said, I'm not coming home all the time. I live approximately, I would say, 45 minutes without traffic from Hampton. My mother told me when she dropped me off, she said, now you ain't gonna be coming home all the time. Another thing Ashley, our president, said is college is all about ships. SHIPS. What she means by that is relationships, scholarships, internships. On DJ Khaled's Snapchat, I don't know, don't quote me, but it was, don't burn bridges, only God could walk on water. That is a fact. I said it earlier that Hampton is a dysfunctional family before. That is a fact. Hampton is a family. It's a dysfunctional family, but it's a family nonetheless. Burning bridges with one person can burn 10 other bridges that you didn't even mean to burn. I know for me, I'm a social butterfly. So I just like talking to people, having different friend groups, and I know a lot of people like myself. Another thing is Hampton is big on big and little relationships. Somebody's big might be in your major and know a good teacher for you, or be able to help you figure out certain things, or could be in a club, or you just never know. Could be a cab, helping you in the cab. Who knows? Could help you with a job at Peninsula Town Center. You never know. But you could burn that bridge because you burned a bridge with their little. People are very territorial over their littles, especially if it's a little that they really consider like their little. Like, you are a part of my family. If you hurt her or him, I now have a problem with you, just based upon that. And I know people are like, oh, that's high school. Why are our issues your issue? That's just how people are naturally. Think if somebody hit your cousin or your mom or your dad. You're not going to want to ha-ha and kiki with that person. You're just not. So take that and realize that when you're about to burn a bridge with somebody over something stupid. I'm not saying you have to be friends with everybody after they do you dirty. You can cut them off, that's fine. But don't go ranting and raving and trying to fight people. That's not what college is about. Relationships matter. Don't burn a bunch of bridges. You can get off a bridge, don't burn it. Another thing she said is scholarships. Don't think, now I'm in college, I don't have to apply for any more scholarships. I regret doing that. I regret not applying for more scholarships. I currently am on scholarship with Hampton and a few other scholarships, but I know people who kept applying and they were getting them. Listen, loans are loans. I don't care if it's $1 loan to $100,000. You owe somebody money, they want that money back plus interest. If you can get a scholarship to take away some of that money, that'd be great. Try and do it. Especially since once you're applying for loans in college, I would say less people are applying for them rather than like in high school when everybody was applying. A lot of people get to college, I can say I'm one of them, and get lazy. You stop applying. It's less competition. It doesn't mean you're going to get it, but it's still less competition. And internships. I actually had an internship this summer. I was a social media coordinator for a medical staffing company. I had friends who were internships for things like Enterprise. I know Ashley, our president, was an intern. If you go to MOSAIC social media pages, you'll see some of our members in internships that they've done over the summer. Internships are very important. The scholarship, I have requirements for volunteer hours as well as internships. So, as much as I was fighting it earlier, and I look back on it, it's going to put me ahead of other people. And so scholarships at Hampton are, I would say, are a really big thing, because Hampton, one thing they will do is push you to try to be your best self and be a great representation of the school. So they try to get a lot of their students to get internships. Also, those internships lead to job opportunities, so it's really good to try to get those. Don't let anybody tell you because you're a freshman you can't get one. My biggest regret was not getting an internship my freshman year. I worked at my old job, which was cool. I was a daycare worker. I loved the kids, but I could have been doing something that goes toward my degree and my future career. I want to make ad campaigns. Having childcare provider on my resume is not really going to help with that. Just being honest. Another bit of advice is out by 5 is real. Don't test Hampton. Don't do it. I've seen plenty of people test Hampton, and Hampton will test you right back. Another tip is just deal with curfew. You may not like it when you're on it, but afterwards, the memories that come from it, being able to speak to older Hamptonians about their time on curfew, those memories really are great. I know for my dorm, I was a Moulton Miss. Shout out to all the Moulton Misses in the world. We had a really cool little dance party. I would say maybe the second night we were there, me and like a girl who's like my heart now. Like, she's like a big sister now. Like, me and her are still friends. We literally met. She was 3 doors down from my room on the 2nd floor. We went to all the doors and we're knocking, and we're like, after curfew, come downstairs. We're trying to have a dance party and get to know each other. And a lot of the girls came, and somebody brought speakers, and we turned off the lights in like the second game room. It's so silly to think about now, but that's one of my best memories of my freshman year. And even though the fact that like weeks later, people barely spoke to each other who had met that night, because you know, people are different. You're not going to be friends with everybody. We will all have that one moment. We were all Moulton Misses that night. So just deal with curfew. It's not as bad as people make it seem. If you live in certain dorms, it's definitely stricter than others. If you live in Moulton, I will say, don't test Miss Wilkins. She really does see y'all as like her children. So she doesn't play with curfew. You're not going to be able to get around it. There's only one way in and one way out of Moulton. The 2 side doors, alarms will go off if you sneak out. And people are not going to be happy if they have to go wait outside for the fire department because you went to go see somebody. Another rule that I think Will said something, but I think what he meant to say was, you know, don't get caught up with these relationships. The ratio at Hampton is wild. there are definitely more girls than boys. Don't put your all into a guy like the first 2 days that you really don't know, and then be super upset if he's talking to somebody else because the ratio is so big. I'm not saying guys should do this. Guys, please don't do this. Please don't do that, because that will just add to the Hampton man slander. But what I am saying is it's very common for a guy to possibly, talk to multiple people, because let's face it, we're all new to college. And so don't get caught up in that drama. It's very easy, and that will tie into burning bridges. Don't burn bridges with somebody over a significant other that actually isn't yours. I'm just saying. Last tip I would say is make the most of your experience. Don't let the rules or the crazy classwork or anything really break you down to the point where you're hating your time at Hampton. Get involved. You don't have to get involved with MOSAIC. You can get involved with whatever club that you want to. Just get out there. The more involved you are at Hampton, the more you will like your time at Hampton. If you are not involved and you're just sitting in your room watching Netflix, you're really not going to care for Hampton at all. Hampton is a school that the more involved you are, the more connects you have, and the more connects lead to more opportunities to have fun. So with that last bit of advice, I would just like to say, embrace the growth that's going to happen once you get to campus. And I truly, truly do hope that you will enjoy your time at your new home by the sea. Bye, baby ogres.